Hi, everyone. It's Stella Grizont, creator of the Work Happiness Method. And today I want to talk to you about how to deal with the anxiety of COVID-19. So, 100 million Americans are on lockdown. There is illness, there is death, there is working from home, homeschooling, and a lack of toilet paper. So there is just a lot. Our world has been turned upside down. We're in fear of what's happening with the economy. There's a lot of uncertainty. And so first thing I want to say is if you are feeling some sense of anxiety, depression, sadness, loneliness, I just want to say that's totally normal. It's totally normal. In fact, it's a sign of mental well being. Because if you were to feel bright and cheerful all the time while all of this is happening, it might be a sign that you're not relating to the experience at hand. So these are normal responses. Of course, you feel a sense of stress given the circumstances. These are very intense circumstances. Often what happens when we feel negative emotion is that we feel bad for feeling bad. So we start to make ourselves be wrong. Like for some reason, you're like, why can't I handle this better? Right? We start to punish ourselves. We start to feel guilty and we want to just move it all away. But the best way to get over negative emotions is to get through them. And so I want to give you 4 steps to help you navigate your negative emotions in a healthy way. So, the first thing I want you to do is to label your emotion and to label it as specifically as you can. For example, it's very easy to say generally, I'm feeling stressed, but is there some nuance to it? Are you really feeling mostly lonely? Are you really feeling mostly sad? Are you feeling a sense of loss? Are you feeling unfocused or scattered? Are you feeling frazzled? So, the more specific that you can label your emotion, you help yourself in 2 ways. One, we know from research that by just labeling emotion, you actually shorten the amount of time that it has a hold of over you. But 2, by labeling your emotion, you're actually giving yourself some indicators on what you can actually do to make yourself feel better. So, for example, if you're feeling very scattered and it's hard for you to focus, well, then that might be an indicator. Hey, let me look at my schedule. Maybe there's some new boundaries I need to create, or maybe I need to talk to my boss about when I can do meetings. If you're feeling loneliness, that's maybe reach out to a friend who you haven't talked to in a while and FaceTime, right? So the more specific you can be, the better. So once you've identified your negative emotion, the second thing you want to do is just scan your body. Where might you be feeling that tension? If it's in your body, if it's maybe in your chest, are you feeling it in your stomach, right? Are you feeling it in your throat, in the back of your shoulders? I mean, it can be anywhere. But usually that kind of tension, we can identify a place where it's residing in our body. And so this also helps you do 2 things. One, it helps you get into your body. Most of the time, especially now, we're just hearing news, we're multitasking, we're in our heads, and it's just swirling. So, by actually just thinking, where am I holding this tension? It's a form of mindfulness that you get into your body, right? And you're not just swirling in your thoughts. The second thing is by getting into your body, you can actually breathe your breath into that spot and start to release some tension. So we'll practice it right now. So, what I'd like you to do, if you haven't already identified what that emotion is that you're experiencing, try to specify what it is for yourself. And then let's just take 3 deep breaths and do a body scan of where it is. And if you find a particular spot where you're holding on to some tension, send your breath into that area. All right, so maybe you want to close your eyes. So let's go ahead and close our eyes and take 3 deep breaths to wherever we're feeling a little tension. Gently flutter your eyes open and do another scan of your body and see, do you notice anything different just by even taking 3 deep breaths? Or what did you notice when you took 3 deep breaths? The more you notice what you notice, the more in charge of your mind you become. You become less at the whim of your emotions and you become more in charge, right? So you can still be feeling anxiety, noticing fear, noticing loneliness, but they're not taking over you. So, in one respect, you're an observer of it. In another respect, you are in it, right? So once you've recognized your emotion, you've checked in with your body, you've taken some deep breaths, you've noticed what you've noticed, the next thing I want you to start to do is have a conversation, a constructive conversation with yourself. So, we're going to use 2 tools from positive psychology. The first is learned optimism, which was developed by Martin Seligman, who's one of the founders of positive psychology. And when faced with a series of setbacks, it's very easy for us to get into a sense of helplessness. And so, to combat that sense of helplessness, we can talk back to our thoughts. And so the way you can remember this is the 3 Ps. So the first P is to not see this as permanent, right? This isn't going to last forever. It might feel like a really long time, but it's not forever, right? So just reminding yourself, this isn't permanent, right? The second P is this isn't pervasive. So just because in this one aspect of my life I'm feeling really unfocused, it doesn't mean it's taking over my whole life. In fact, I had a really sweet dance party with my family and I was totally present there. And I'm still cherishing my relationships and I'm still enjoying the extra time I have with my daughter, right? So it's not invading every aspect of your life. So just reminding yourself of that. The third P is to not see it as personal. So it's so easy when things feel out of control, when you can't focus or be as productive as you want, or maybe you feel like you can't emotionally support everyone that you want to emotionally support. Whatever it is that you're feeling, it's very easy for you to say, well, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe there's something wrong with me, or I'm not handling this well. So, what we want to do is just depersonalize it. It's not about who you are, but it's about the circumstances that you're in. And so, just reminding yourself, you know what? This is the first time I've ever been in a pandemic where I've been home quarantined, where I have to deal with all these circumstances at once. And I'm just figuring it out. And maybe this isn't about my inability to handle it, it's just about the massive circumstances. So, not seeing it as personal. The final tool I want to give you is a tool from Carol Dweck, who's from Stanford University. She developed the growth mindset model, which basically states that, hey, if you want to improve your skills, if you want to take on a new challenge, all it takes is more effort and practice. So your skills and your capabilities aren't fixed. They actually can expand if you just work on it. And guess what? You have lots of time to work on it. Every day you can get better and better at finding your rhythm, at finding a way to flourish even in this challenging situation. So, one thing I keep telling myself every day, multiple times a day, is like, this is the first time I'm dealing with this. Every day, I'm going to get better and better at this. I'm learning and I'm going to get better. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting better at it. So, with that, my friends, that is a quick rundown of how I'm handling my negative emotions. And again, it's okay. Of course, you're feeling this way. It's healthy. It is healthy for you to have a negative response to what's happening because it is a very challenging time. So you're experiencing these emotions are totally normal. But what we want to do is work through them in a healthy way. For more information, for more tips, for more of my webinars that are coming out to help everyone through COVID-19, go to remoteandresilient.com. I'll be posting new resources there. You can sign up to get email alerts of any new videos, of any new tips, of any new webinars I'm posting. That's remoteandresilient.com. Thank you so much. Be well and stay well.